I haven't had the booster yet, but the initial one, both times, just not my socks on, and I slept for about 12 hours. And woke up with a sore arm.
I
And
spent
took me half a day
4
to
hours
get
trying to get boosters.
I haven't had the booster yet.
I'd like to call the growth control for the zoning.
I spent 4 hours trying to get boosters.
There's strains going around, and they're trying to predict what it's gonna be, and they gear the flu shot for that.
I don't know, I thought I sounded good anyway.
Go ahead, don't wait for me, I'm sorry.
I have to wait for you.
There's strains going around, they're trying to predict what it's gonna be, and they gear the flu shot for that.
I don't know, I thought I sounded good anyway.
Go ahead, don't wait for me, I'm sorry.
I have to wait for you.
Strains going around, they're trying to predict what it's gonna be.
Oh, you're good. Okay, I'd like to call, will the clerk please call roll?
Kane,
Here.
Smollett. Absent.
Is an
Master.
excused absence.
Masterson,
Here,
Thibodeau.
Here.
Winkle,
Here.
Kimball.
Here. Are there any corrections to the minutes dated Thursday, August 26, 2021?
no,
If not, the minutes stand. I did get a quick report from Jim from Planning Commission earlier today. He called and let me know that the first application for the Jiffy Lube did pass and was approved at Planning Commission.
thank you,
See
sir.
what that's worth. If there's no other reports or correspondence, we'll move on to the public hearing. Will the clerk please read the first application?
Frank Malowski, 7 Solutions, 3025 Highland Parkway, Suite 850, Downers Grove, Illinois, 60515, owner, Rainey Realty Company, 924 West Point Parkway, Suite 150, Westlake, Ohio, 44145, requesting a front yard setback variance of 37 feet 0 inches along Pitts Boulevard, side yard setback east side 0 feet 0 inches. Location 34385 Center Ridge Road in a B3 district. Permanent parcel number is 07-00-016-112-001. Also 07-00-016-112-059. Case number PPZ 2021-0089. Chief Building Officials comments. 1268.04 B3 zoning requires 50-foot front yard corner lot has 2 front yards. Applicant requesting 37-foot front yard. Pitts Boulevard requiring a 13-foot variance. B3 zoning requires 25-foot side yard when abutting residential district. Applicant requesting 0-foot side yard, requiring a 25-foot variance. Both variances require BZBA approval.
Thank you. Is there a representative here this evening? Sir, if you could please step to the podium, state your name and address, and swear you to the record.
Good evening, Matthew Pisco, 37704 Hills Tech Drive, Farmington Hills, Michigan. Frank Molosky, I'm standing in for him. He's out of our Chicago office. I'm coming in from Detroit. He had death in the family, so I'm covering the area tonight.
Thank you for providing all the information.
I was a engineer for Sunoco for 9 years. This was my territory, so it's old home week for me. So I'm delighted to be back.
Thank you. Sir, do you swear affirm the statements you're about to make in front of this Board of Zoning and Building Appeals for the City of North Ridgeville are true as you shall answer unto God or under the penalties of the law of perjury?
I do.
Thank you. Could you please tell us a little bit about your application?
Okay, Jiffy Lube is a low volume business. They were attracted by Meyer grocery stores, and there's a partnership in Michigan, Ohio to insert the Jiffy Lubes into those unoccupied parking spaces because they're low volume. They don't cause any havoc within the main parking fields. So that kind of started this trend where shopping centers with grocery stores are starting to partner with Jiffy Lube. It's first time in 22 years, Shell, BP, Sunoco, Hold Out, Direct. Well, they're back. So last time that they developed new location was 22 years ago. So we're working with them in Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Colorado, and Texas to try and get the band back together. So this site was selected. It's kind of wonky. As you can see, it's long and narrow, and then taking into account the relocation of the approach to allow more stacking to get to Center Ridge Road. We came up with some deficiencies as far as area. The color rendering is probably the most useful instrument that I dropped on your desk just to show what the building envelope looks like. If we were to turn the building 90 degrees, we really can't stack without interfering with that cross traffic that we've created in eliminating the approach that went very close to the intersection. So this is the best we could do to stick with the spirit of the ordinance. 13 feet on the west, 15 feet on the west, or on the east, and then 15 feet on the west. Is the smallest we could ask for and get our prototypical building on that will help the investment hurdle. We've got landscaping. We've kind of continued that ring road, move the approach to the south to create more stack space, and would appreciate your consideration for our application. Any questions? I'm glad to help.
Thank you very much. I'm very familiar with the corner in that whole intersection, as it's one of the busiest in town. One thing that I do want to point out is Greenies, that dates me, right? Giant Eagle. Giant Eagle, it's established. The building's there. It's not changing shape. Even though it is a little bit of a pretty unique situation asking for a 100% variance to build right to the property line. If this was all one parcel, it would make sense. You have 26-foot driveway, a 4-foot vegetation barrier, so you have 30 feet in between buildings, which does abide by our codes if it was one lot. The fact that it's not is why you're here today. Visually, it's going to blend in perfectly fine. You have the front of your proposed building pretty much in the same line as where Giant Eagle's building is. It's a little bit more forward, but visually going down the road is not going to look like it's stacked. It's going to be pretty much lined up. And from what I understand, the whole reason that you would even be here is the residential district is the apartment complex to the south, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you are vastly far from that and not encroaching on that property or those residents by any means.
Through the chair, if I can.
Yes,
I know I live in Livonia, Michigan, so I'm familiar with the light patterns. I know it gets dark early, but this is really a low volume business, and I mean 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Sure.
So there's no light trespass. We go dark, we don't attract customers, so just to further your point, as far as the separation, we don't create sight, sound, smells, and we close early, so it's even better. Yes.
Oh, just letting you know.
Please.
So just to expand on what the chairman was saying, we've had several different shopping centers and everybody likes to have their own parcel, their own land. So as the chairman was saying, if this was one gigantic big parcel, we wouldn't need the variances as excessive as they are. If you take a look at this from the entire pie, it makes sense, and we understand that each business, especially during the lovely COVID years, everybody wants to have their own property, their own land, their own building. So I'm thinking that part of the reason we're asking for those variances are to keep your building on your parcel. So that was my only comment.
Are there any questions or comments from any board members? Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on behalf of this matter? Anything from administration?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
if I'm not mistaken, Jiffy Lube is not buying this property. They're gonna lease it from Rini Realty. So Rini could easily combine that if they wanted to. I don't know if it's a time factor and they were trying to get things underway, but because the fact that that was an individual parcel, that's why when we reviewed the plan, we put down to get that side yard variance. So it's not like Jiffy Lube is gonna be on their parcel, it's all still gonna be owned by Rini Realty, the owner of the whole shopping center.
Same owners.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, through the chair, that there's gonna be a memorandum of lease, and Jiffy Lube is amiable to your earlier point, to purchase a property if that's the best thing to do, but in this circumstance, a lease is just fine. So that really does kind of define the terms of how we interact property to property.
Sure. That makes complete sense, absolutely.
I have a question. How long would the lease be for?
20 years, and then they have terms and terms and terms. So it's a long life lease.
If there's no other questions or comments at this time, the chair will entertain the motion.
I make a motion to accept, sorry.
Second. Will the clerk please take roll?
Kane,
Yes.
Masterson,
Yes.
Thibodeau,
Yes.
Kimball,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you very much.
We have a copy up here for us. Thank you for the.
It's easier.
She got back tonight,
Oh, goodness, yes.
you got a 4-hour ride in front of you?
It's 3.5, 4 hours, but hopefully all the construction will be slowed down. That's it.
So you're all set.
Thank you, sir.
Drive safe.
What division is someone did you?
I was in the refinery Woodville, Nickel, we had an office over the heights. There's Sunoco Mid-America, we have about 1,000 stations in Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia. So I've built stations all over here.
Because did you work with anyone just Gil Lovell?
Yeah, absolutely.
Company I worked with, I worked with other companies 30 years ago when I worked for them.
Yeah,
And I knew those people.
Well, we're showing our age.
Yes, have a safe trip.
Thank you very much.
Moving on, will the clerk please read the next application?
Applicant Diane Viha, New Creation Builders, 818 East 73rd Street, Cleveland, Ohio, 44103. Owner Charles Jacobs III, 36413 Westfield Drive, North Ridgeville, Ohio, 44039. Requesting variance to North Ridgeville codified ordinance 1294.03 construction of 2,700 square foot outbuilding on a 24,300 square foot lot with 12% lot coverage, requiring a 2% variance. Location 36413 Westfield Drive in an R1 district. permanent parcel number 0700026104 case number PPZ 2021-0092. Chief Building Officials' comments. 1294.03E4 outbuildings on lots greater than half acre allow 10% total lot coverage. Applicant requesting 12% lot coverage, requiring 2% variance. BZA approval required. 24,300 square foot total lot area times 10% equals 2,430 square foot lot coverage. Proposed lot coverage 2,716 square feet. 2,716 divided by 24,300 equals 0.1117, 12%.
Thank you. Is there a representative here this evening? Assuming that they weren't here. So I will make a motion to change the order of our docket and move them to the last order of business for this evening, to give them a chance to show up.
I'll second that.
All those signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Will the clerk please read the next application?
Jim, you want me to try to make a phone call
If you could, sure, that'd be great.
about an application?
Applicant Todd Dahlquist, 4909 Stratton Mill Street, North Ridgeville, Ohio, 44039. Owner, same. Requesting a variance to North Ridgeville Codified Ordinance 1282.11 C3 for a 7-foot variance for an addition onto an existing garage. Location 4909 Stratton Mill Street in an R1 district, permanent parcel number 0700-031-000-150, case number PPZ 2021-095, sorry. Chief Building Officials' comments. 642.8C, no person shall place, oh, I'm so sorry, that's the wrong one. 1282.11C3. In chapter 1282, front yard depth required is minimum 30 foot, applicant 23 foot front yard depth, requiring a 7-foot variance. BZA approval required.
Do we have a representative here this evening?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you guys could do me a favor, step to the podium, state your name and address, and I'll swear you both in for the record.
Kendra Wednesday, 4909 Stratton Mill Street, North Ridgeville.
Todd Dahlquist, 4909 Stratton Mill Street, North Ridgeville.
Thank you. Do you swear affirm the statements you're about to make from this board of zoning and building appeals for the city of North Ridgeville are true as you shall answer unto God or under the penalties of the law of perjury?
Yes.
Yes.
Could you guys please tell us a little bit about your application?
All right, so we want to put an addition, we're going to put a third car garage on our existing garage. It was an option that Ryan Homes offered to a lot of the home builders. We didn't actually build this home, but we did want it after the fact. We put together plans to do this, but we realized that we needed a 7-foot variance in order to do what we needed to do. And so here we stand before you, asking for said variance.
Gotcha. Thank you. I've been by the property and it is pretty unique how your house, you could even see on the topo, it's a little bit angled, right?
Yes, the property goes that way and the
Yeah.
house is that way.
And just even sliding down the side of your garage, you have your fence that runs along.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes into the almost side, if you will, of your rear abutting neighbor's house. So it's not, the whole point of getting at is, even with this addition on there, it's still sort of lined up with the homes that are directly behind it. So it's not like it's gonna stick out even more in front of the houses behind it, because you guys actually look like you're scooched over more than the houses directly
Right.
to the east of you, I suppose, to right behind it. So from that standpoint, I believe it's gonna visually blend in just fine in the neighborhood. I don't see any issues from a visibility aspect, because that's the whole point of our ordinance, for the two front yards on the corner lot, is to make sure there's no visible obstructions for kids on sidewalks or someone walking their dog or EV cars going around the intersection. I see no visible safety hazards, and I think it's gonna blend in with the existing neighborhood.
It would curtail my husband from wanting to put in a hockey rink in that side yard
There we
too.
go.
Something tells me you weren't gonna let me do that, so.
Thankfully, you don't need us for a hockey. However, I do have personal issues in regards to deck hockey facilities. So.
You know, it would have been nice. But,
Removable.
But what I was gonna expand on, because I was driving around your neighborhood last night, I drove, because it was too dark to walk around, but you're right, I mean, every way that I came, every other house on the corner has a 3-car garage except you kind of look odd having a 2-car garage.
we like to be different,
Okay.
not in this sense. This is what we wanted to conform.
But the chairman, everything he said, you have a huge side yard, it would make a very nice putting green. Something very nice and tasteful, but I agree with the chairman, it's, the reason why we exist is to be able to grant something.
I actually even did take a tape measure and measure it out and, you know, took a picture directly on, and the house directly behind us sticks out at probably at least 20 feet outside of that, so.
And we actually parked a truck
Yeah.
to see if there would, you know, if you could, if it was gonna block any sight lines, especially coming up to the corner. We have school buses that come up to there and pick up our neighbors' kids. So, you know, the last thing we want to do is make anything that would be, you know, structurally dangerous or you know, visibly dangerous for them to make their turns and to see what's coming. It's wide open.
And I'm assuming you're gonna move the fence to be at the end of the.
Okay.
Oh, no, it would actually make it even blend in more.
Yeah, we will.
It's something.
I mean,
Once we
I'm
get
not
everything
saying you
situated.
have to, I'm saying,
No, I know. Yes, that's part of the plan as well. So we're just, you know, them down
they
the
will
road,
need
maybe
variance for that.
maybe get it.
No, this becomes the new front line of the building, so they would just conform with this new building line of the fence.
Just because if that was, I would suppose to send them on their way. I mean,
Do you have a comment?
Yeah, I kind of agree with both of you, it doesn't obstruct. And when I was there, they seemed to be the only corner lot that didn't have a third garage. And it's one of the few developments I've been in North Ridgeville where that fence actually went off the back corner of the house instead of all the way over in the side yard. So
Pretty much every house in there, it went up there.
it went off the corner of the house on.
Are there any other questions or comments from any board members? Anything from administration? Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on behalf of this matter? If not, at this time, the chair will entertain a motion.
I move to accept.
Second,
Will the clerk please take roll?
Kane,
Yes.
Masterson,
yes.
Thibodeau,
Yes.
Yes. I'm counting this week, yes.
You guys don't have to say.
Congratulations.
Oh, it's riveting.
There you go. Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's a, hey, anytime, we're here every Thursday,
Okay.
once a month.
Stop it.
We'd like to have people.
It's not that much fun.
We'll bring the popcorn, we'll bring the beer.
Have a good
Oh,
night.
you have to
Thank
bring the beer, but I'll bring it up.
Thank you.
Moving on. To our last application of the evening. Assuming you're the representative,
Charles Jacobs.
He's the property owner.
Mr. Jacobs, okay, perfect. So if you could please step, we've already read the information for the record. If you could do me a favor and state your name and address for the record, and I'll swear you in.
Okay, it's Charles T. Jacobs III. It's 4345. I'm sorry, I'm a little flustered here.
No, no worries. I have 36413.
36413 Westfield Drive, North Ridgeville, Ohio 44039.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you swear affirm the statements you're about to make in front of this Board of Zoning and Building Appeals for the city of North Ridgeville are true as you shall answer?
Yes, I
Mr.
do.
God, or under the penalties of the law of perjury?
Yes, I do.
Could you please tell us a little bit about your application?
I'm wanting to build a garage. And what I was told was that I couldn't build it because it was too big for the property. But yet also there was stated that I had 2 outbuildings, 2 A-frames. And the thing is both of those A-frames are not present. And they weren't present when I purchased the property.
Okay. Now, do you know if those A-frames were included in the math? that you
No.
did?
I was told, if I'm not mistaken, that those were both removed.
Okay,
It wasn't clear when or where by the applicant who was the builder, but I was told both of those were removed or going to be removed. So we based the math just on the new building and the size of the lot and the existing homes there.
okay, great.
Because the lot coverage includes the home and any outbuildings because you're over a half acre.
Okay,
And they allow 10% and you're at 12%, which is just slightly over. So that's why you needed the variance.
okay. Yeah, because when I went to the plan and they were showing 2 outbuildings and they were never there.
Sure.
And that's when I was trying to figure out too, how do I state that to the county to be able to have it removed from the plan?
Not only that, but you should go to county or contact them to find out what's required. Because you're still paying taxes on that.
Right.
possibly. Just to save yourself additional taxes.
Correct.
I've been by the property and one thing I noticed when I was driving down the road is there are several homes on the street that have fairly large outbuildings
Correct.
in the backyard to begin with. And obviously I was driving down, I didn't get out and measure your neighbor's barns or anything like that, but just from a common sense standpoint, a 2% variance request is pretty minimal. And I honestly don't believe anyone's going to be able to drive down the road and say, oh, that's a little too big, that stands out.
Right.
I don't believe that. You have a nice plan that you proposed, that you provided for us. I think it's gonna blend in just fine with the neighborhood.
Okay, yeah, because my whole
Fit in
purpose,
fine with the house and the backyard layout that it has. And I think it'll blend in just fine.
okay. Yeah, because my whole purpose of where I wanted to put it was due to the fact that therefore it wouldn't be visible from the street. And 2, I could free up some of my driveway, due to the fact I've got plenty of cars.
Sure.
No,
Yes.
I agree completely. It's a 2% variance. That's so minimal. You wouldn't notice a 2%
Okay,
at all.
And looking at your plan also, it looks like the proposed outbuilding is closer to the back of the house versus the rear property line. We can see it right there. So I'm not sure you'll be able to see it from the street.
right. That was kind of, I didn't want to attract attention.
Sure. I think it's a well thought out plan. Are there any other questions or comments from any board members? Anything from administration? If not, at this time, the chair will entertain a motion.
I'll move that we accept.
Will clerk please take roll?
Kane,
Yes.
Masterson,
Yes.
Thibodeau,
Yes.
Kimball.
Yes.
Motion passes 4-0.
We have a copy up here for you, sir.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for running out.
Sorry, I was keeping
It just kept going on.
all my days.
You did fine. You got here on time.
Were you scheduled to attend this or was New Creation supposed to do it for you?
I believe they were supposed to do it. And I contacted them and I didn't get an answer. It made me a little bit nervous. My father just got out of surgery and I was trying to get him a shower and then get to the parent teacher meeting. It's been a crazy day.
Go home and relax.
Hopefully it gets better after this.
Well, now I gotta go home and reprimand my child. So, thank you very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day,
Take care.
sir.
You guys do the same. Have a good night.
You too, sir.
Is there any other business to be brought in front of the board this evening? Any none at this time, the chair makes a motion to adjourn. All those signify by aye.
Aye.
We adjourn. Not bad, 7:30.
I think a couple of his neighbors over the years have been here for variances for those outbuildings.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
it
know at
just,
least one that I remember on the north side came.
yeah.
doesn't
there's-
seem like it was asking. Person.
He owns no that 210 and Sarah,
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
right there, next right across the mountain. I guess the mall now.
That's it.
Okay, that's why he was familiar.
He doesn't live too far from Roger and Whipple.